How many countries has the U.S. attacked in the
There've
last 15 years?
Well, since World War II, there have been 72 interventions by the United States.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
That's ludicrous.
Well, it's not ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. Boulder Dash, I say. No, I won't believe a word of that. We've attacked no man, no woman, all right?
It's, you know, I mean, books are amazing for putting things into perspective, but there's something about a documentary, especially a boots-on-the-ground documentary by a journalist like Sebastian Junger, and in Afghanistan, while Afghanistan is falling to the Taliban. So it feels so, it's so intense when you're watching it and you see, you know, guys in the beginning of the film that wind up dying. And it's, first of all, I forgot, like, I think you have a sense of what they mean when they talk about these mountainous areas, this mountainous terrain that's impossible really to control because it's very difficult to traverse, very difficult to get around. I don't think you really understand it until you watch that film, until you see the mountains and you're like, oh God, like how is anybody ever going to control this area? Like no wonder why the Soviets failed. No wonder why we failed. No wonder why, you know, the people that live there.
Alexander the Great attempted it as well.
They're living in an incredibly difficult environment in terms of like just getting around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember some statistics about like 99% of people in Afghanistan, now I sound like Brian Callen.
Afghanistan.
Iran, Iran. Yeah, I never know how to say it.
Yeah.
I remember like 99% of them didn't know.
Yeah,
9/11
Genghis
happened.
Khan.
So like they're completely disconnected from the world. Even
That's so crazy.
Even things that seem relevant to.
Did you watch the videos today of people trying to climb aboard planes and falling to their deaths? The planes are taking off. These guys are hanging on to the landing gear. And as the landing gear pulls up, they're falling to their death.
Trying to save themselves?
Yes, trying to leave with the Americans. It's fucking crazy. Just the chaos at the airport is you haven't seen any of this stuff?
No, I haven't seen. I actually have not been paying attention to what's happening.
Jamie, show him some of the videos because it's heartbreaking.
There's one. This is like.
Yeah, these are people just literally climbing all over these ladders, doing whatever they can, trying to force themselves onto these planes. But the really fucked one is look these guys hanging on the landing gear. Watch this, like falling.
I don't know if this is TOS. Because I think some of them did fall to their deaths.
Designed
it's completely
a better withdrawal plan that scaled over time, where they gave particularly the people that helped the American military over there, that they're very vulnerable right now, and they're in a lot of trouble. Could they have protected them better? Could they have done something? Could they have designed a plan? That's what most people who are criticizing this believe. The people that actually understand what's going on over there, they think this idea of pulling out immediately.
Yeah, but half the world is living under authoritarian regimes. So the question is, how do you help those people? How do you help? You had a nice, sophisticated, deep historical conversation with Andrew Schultz about North Korea. But
are you being sarcastic?
Yeah, that's a little bit of sarcasm there. I love him. He's hilarious. I'm just joking.
He is hilarious, but he was going hard in the paint.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
how do you help?
He's having fun.
Well, the one sort of sophisticated criticism there was, well, what the hell do you do about it?
Right. What do you do about North Korea? Well, what?
And there's a lot of places like that. I mean, North Korea is probably the worst or one of the worst. But there's a lot of places where the leader of the government is abusing its people. What do you do about it? The whole cryptocurrency, Bitcoin people say maybe you can change the money.
Yes. Finally. I have not heard the crypto bro angle on any of this. Okay? So let's hear it. Let's change the world, one doge at a time.
You can give people power by, like one of the ways government controls its people is the monetary system. So you can like swap out, try to give people power through the money. That's one way. That's interesting. Obviously the old school way is military, or also maybe economic pressures. But but then it becomes difficult because you're taking on that project, and then you get the thing that you get in Afghanistan. And you know, it's a project that takes 10 years, it takes 20 years, and then ultimately it's not successful. So
The
what do you do?
Afghanistan situation is so crazy because, you know, Biden was on television
Cringy
just a
crypto
little while ago
tweets.
talking about
I gotta check those
how
out.
there's 300,000
Yeah, sorry.
armed Afghanistan
COVID, I'm putting it
soldiers
through
that
the-
were
through
trained
the
by the United
monitors.
States, and there's only 75,000 Taliban. There's no way that they're going to fall. But they never fought. They just gave up, like, instantly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the whole situation is very confusing to someone who doesn't understand it. If you're a guy who fought over there too, it's got to be insanely frustrating. People spilled blood over there, people lost limbs over there, and then they're seeing how quickly we just pulled out in an abandoned ship. Like what was that for?
Well, we got into that war under false pretense.
Well, I mean, you should have been asking this for the past, like, 20 years. It's been a very long time. Not just a moment of withdrawal, but yes, there's not a lot for me to disagree with in terms of I could not imagine what that feeling would be like to be a soldier or a veteran who has been working in Afghanistan for this long, to see nothing accomplished at the end of it all, to see the whole thing fall apart, the Taliban take back over, and witness all the horrors and atrocities that are going to come from that, and then have to sit back. So I did want to talk a little bit about the origins, the untold origins of the Taliban.
One of the most closely guarded secrets of the Cold War was America's role in supporting Afghan warlords known as the Mujahideen. The official story is that America backed these fundamentalists in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in December 1979. But that's not true. It was 6 months before the Soviet invasion, in July of that year, that President Jimmy Carter authorized $500 million to help set up the Mujahideen, a terrorist organization.
Oh,
The American people were completely unaware that their government, together with the British Secret Service, MI6, had begun training and funding Islamic extremists, including Osama bin Laden. Out of this came the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and September the 11th.
wait, what? No, oh, damn, that's a lot of shade he's throwing all at once, you know? It's a lot to just go all at once, you know? He kind of pulled them this on. That was kind of, in not so many words, but that was, he kind of just pulled a Hassan.
Soon after the Taliban came to power in 1996, the administration of Bill Clinton backed a secret plan for a pipeline through Afghanistan from Central Asia, which has vast reserves of oil and gas. The Taliban were offered a generous cut in the deal and secretly invited to Washington and Texas. They were treated royally.
And I'm sorry to say, Tim Pool, this one will shock you, okay? But this is also in Wikipedia. So if you think the video is a conspiracy theory, you'll find it in Wikipedia, and then you'll know. Then you'll know it's conspiracy theory.
Taken shopping and flown to tourist attractions like the NASA Space Center and Mount Rushmore. Their tour was so secret that no television news covered it. Most Americans knew nothing. By the time George W. Bush came to power, the link between Al-Qaeda and the Taliban was an embarrassment, and September the 11th gave Bush an opportunity to get rid of them. Today, Afghanistan is run by a regime installed by the Americans, and the pipeline deal is going ahead. September the 11th also presented an opportunity to an influential group who, even by Republican Party standards, were extreme. Ray McGovern is a former senior officer of the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, and a personal friend of George Bush Sr., the president's father.
These same people who are running U.S. policy now are people that the president's father kept at arm's length. They were referred to in the circles in which I moved when I was briefing at the top intelligence and policy levels, they were referred to as the crazies. The crazies. I mean,
So let that one sink in. Enjoyed that one. Yeah. Yeah. You heard that right. The crazies. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
talk about the crazies, everyone knew who they were. Richard Pearl, Paul Wolfowitz, Doug Feith, those folks.
The crazies also include Donald Rumsfeld,
I love it just runs with it. And the crazies also did many other terrible things.
seen here in Baghdad in 1986, warmly greeting Saddam Hussein, who was then being armed to the teeth by American
There's the photo.
Britain. This is one of their
By the way,
blueprints, public
This now, okay? This is kind of just like, you should know this. I know this is probably not taught in schools. It's probably taught in college, I would hope, at some point. Maybe it should be a part of high school. I don't know. A lot of like the school curriculum, depending on where you are, also has a little bit to do with your patriotism. Like how much can they instill a national identity and your fealty to it? And you won't instill that if it's like, well, most US presidents within certain conditions could be tried for war crimes. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to like teach a whole course on that. But at the time, if you were to separate between, let's say, Republican thought or leftist or even liberal thought in this debate about what's happening here, there would have been, on the liberal side of the aisle, justification for this, right? Like this still is, okay, it's bad. If this is true, if it is in fact true, but fine, it's bad, but it's in purpose of what? In pursuit of what? So what is important?
The US military will fight multiple simultaneous wars as the cavalry on the new American frontier. The principal author is William Crystal.
The problem with America is not that we go around marauding around the world imposing ourselves. The problem with America in the last 10, 15 years since the end of the Cold War, really in the last 60 years, is that we've been too slow to get involved in conflicts.
Outside America, people have worried about the United States conducting an unprovoked attack on a country, a sovereign country.
Yeah, I can
Whether or
understand.
not-
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Really? They're
Yeah.
worried we're going to attack Britain, France,
No,
Germany,
no,
any democracy?
No, because
any
no,
decent regime?
No, well, no.
He let one part slip. Decent.
The United States doesn't usually attack strong countries.
Do we attack decent countries?
No, I said strong countries.
Well, I'm asking decent countries.
I don't know
Are
what
people
you would
really
call-
worried the U.S. is going to go,
I-
a decent, law-abiding country, and the U.S. is going to come in and say,
Decent.
we don't like the look of you, we're going to
Decent.
depose you? Is that something the U.S. has done quite often? How many countries has the U.S. attacked in the
there've
last
there've
15 years?
well, since World War II, there have been 72 interventions by the United States.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
That's ludicrous.
Well, it's not ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. Balderdash, I say. No, I won't believe a word of that. We've attacked no man, no woman, all right? Except for we did spread the freedom. We spread that all right. Man,
These are some of the countries where the United
nice. Because I was going to pull up my personal list. I got a list, but I'm so happy you're doing this. We're on the same page. Nice. All right, here we go.
States, directly and indirectly, has overthrown governments, manipulated elections, and attacked popular movements since 1945. Bush's war on terror is just another brand name replacing the Red Menace
Nonsense.
as justification for a systematic aggression.
Sure.
This is well documented, yet it
See
remains
these,
a kind
huh?
of secret history
See all these
seldom
lies?
reported in the West
Lies didn't attack
as a
any of
war
them.
of terror.
They're not even real countries. What is that? Is that, what, how do you even pronounce that? Not real? That was a pretty good documentary. I learned some things about the United States. I think we should watch more documentaries if we're going down this and learn a little bit more, see some stuff. Maybe what can we learn from the great Sylvester? I believe it's Sir Sylvester Stallone. We can learn about the history of Afghanistan, its people, the Taliban, American exceptionalism, imperialism, colonialism, the difference therein. Okay. Makes sense. History. Oh, sorry, he's sharpening a blade. Tying no shoes.
D, -20.
Two blades. It's
Switching now. D, -5.
Chat, I don't know what's going on, okay? I see your comments. This is history. This is a history lesson, okay? Can you please concentrate on history? If I was to quiz you all afterwards, how many bullets did he put inside the case? Okay? Give me your answer. Dust Mike got it right. Dust Mike knew. Isn't he Reaganite? Probably. I was really just hoping there would be something like, you know, historical about this. It just seems like a bunch of action scenes. What's going on?
Give us your position and we'll come to pick you up.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Special Forces uses arrows and sometimes an antenna to get up to trees. That's wild. History. By the way, this is Rambo First Blood Part 2. But it's the second movie. It's gotta be confusing. Rambo First Blood Part 2. Good old Rambo. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Payton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants are still running the world, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Ultimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.